Looking at PrepTest 57, this is section 2, and the question asks, the reasoning above most closely conforms to which one of the following principles? Okay, so when we were talking about reasoning, we should identify that we have an argument. We should first think of the conclusion and figure out how they got there. Okay, the bottom line is this argument says don't prescribe medicine for a cold. And doctors almost always, they succumb to the patient comes in and says, I need some cold medicine, and the doctor's like, okay, here it is. And this argument's saying, no, don't do it. And here's the reason. Because it doesn't have an effect at all. Because something about, colds or viruses and antibiotics won't help colds. So there's no effect. And also there could be harmful side effects. Okay, so we need to find a principle below that deals with you don't give somebody something because there's no effect and it can be harmful. Okay, so let's start with the E. A doctor should never base the decisions to prescribe a certain medication for a patient on the patient's claims about the effectiveness. Well, in this case, that's what's happening, but that's not really the principle. The reason why we're saying no to the patients is because there is no effect and because it's harmful. So that's not a principle that this one conforms to. D, a doctor should withhold treatment from a patient if the doctor is uncertain whether the treatment will benefit the patient. Well, no, that's not the situation here, because we know that it's not beneficial and it won't have an effect and it could be harmful. We know that. We're not uncertain about it. It doesn't deal with that. This sort of reasoning doesn't deal with uncertainty. It deals with absolute knowledge. C, a doctor should attempt to prescribe every drug that is likely to affect the patient's health positively. We're not talking about prescribing every single drug here. We're really saying don't prescribe, so that doesn't conform with the principle either. B, a doctor should not prescribe any drug that might have harmful effects on the patient, even if the drug might have a positive effect on the patient. Well, no. I mean, we're saying here that it doesn't have any effect, and if anything, it could have a harmful, something else bad could happen. The rationale in B is actually saying, yes, it could have a harmful effect, but it could also have a positive effect. So B doesn't conform either. Let's look at A, though. A doctor should not prescribe a drug for a condition if it cannot improve the condition, okay, no effect, and if the drug potentially has adverse side effects, harmful. That is the reasoning. That's why A is the correct answer to the question.